So what we're doing is doing a review on what it's like to own a Tesla in everyday life. So what we did is we went on and we got a Tesla for a week, just to see how Tesla life is, how the electric life is. And we got a lot of pros and a lot of cons, and we just want to go through them with you guys to see if owning a Tesla is everything that they say it is. And we also wanted to see if owning a Tesla without having a charger port at your house, is that worth it? So today we're here in Baltimore, Maryland, on Caton Avenue at a charging station. We're charging, and as you can, we're all lined up here. All lined up.
All right, so we're in the Model 3, and this is in fact, let me put the version on the screen.
Yeah, it's unlocked.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I can find the version here. All right, so this right here, as you see, is a Model 3 long-range dual motor. It's got 4,666 miles. It's a rental. Just checking it out.
What we got here, we have the 2023 Tesla. This is the Y, I believe, the 3. Pretty slick. Sidebar, I really like that one. That would be the color I would get. So we have this one right here. It's pretty slick. Let's see. Got my man Rawsko in there.
So one of the questions I'm getting is, what happens if the power goes out? Now, what I want to do is show you, first of all, normally you press the button here. You press the button, the door just pops open, the window drops down a little bit. Now, every Tesla, like I was trying to tell people, has a manual lock mechanism, manual door opening. So put your hands here, I don't know if you can get it, I don't know if I'm getting it right, but pull up on it and it lets you out. And that's like a manual release. And it actually says, manual door release used. May cause damage to window trim. Wow, I didn't know that part, but that's kind of how that works. So you're never ever going to be locked in.
So let's see, as far as the back space wise, I'm about 5'5". So it's actually, I love the interior of this thing. It's outrageous. Right now we're charging up, but as you see, I'm about 5'5", 5'6". I'm gonna say 5'6", even though it's probably 5'5". With the seat all the way up, I have a substantial amount of room, but of course, if there's someone sitting up there, it's not that great. I was just driving. It's kind of my driving position. So as you see, for somebody like myself, it would be very, very tight. Very tight. So it is really not. It's comfortable back here if you're a passenger and, if you're being driven, like say in an Uber or something, they had their seat all the way up. It would be pretty cool.
So I'm in the back.
I'm here.
He's about to push the seat back to a comfortable driving level, and we're going to see what happens.
All right, so let's see. So I got Rawsko in the back there. So I'm going to set the seat to where I would be comfortable driving here. So we're about here. So that's about comfortable.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
He claims he's comfortable. I'm not. It's not that bad. Now, granted, if you're a 5'10", if you're 6'6", it's a different ball game. I'm 5'6", so I'm pretty darn short by man standards, and I'm all right. I mean, it's not bad.
Knees touching?
No, knees are not touching.
Okay.
Knees are not touching. I got room to move my feet. I got a little room in my feet back here. It's not bad. I actually I'm content. I could ride like this.
Yeah, so I could do this too. I could do a 4-hour trip like that. And then you figure like this, if we had...
You sure you got enough room up there?
Yeah, I'm good to go here.
Surprisingly better than I thought. Now, granted, both of us are not, we about the same height, so
yeah,
it's not like we're tall. If I'm pretty sure if we're both 6'6", we'd be saying something completely different.
7'2" at least.
If you're 7'2", I think you'd try a different vehicle.
But
I think you'd rather walk.
Right. But no, it's not. It's actually not bad. I'm not lying. I dig that window though. That window's off. It's not bad though.
As far as this is the Model 3 long range 2023, and it doesn't have a screen like some of the other Teslas have. But you can see this is the vent system for the back, and I feel the air coming through here. It's not a hot day here, but we do have a little just a little moderate air on. You see this little piece of dust here blowing, whatever that is, little hair right there, but it feels comfortable. So I guess it would, and you see here the 2 USB-C ports that you could actually, one for each, to plug in from the back, I guess for your own charging. But not bad. It doesn't have a manual release for the back. So if the power shut down, I showed you the manual release for the front. I guess in the back you'd have to climb, or I guess once they get out in the front, then they'll let you out, because there is no manual release in the back. At least I don't see one. Well, I guess, yeah, you won't be able to wind the windows down if the power was to give out, I guess. So I guess I don't know how that would work. I know it's probably a million videos on this, but let me just show you the handle, because when I first got in this thing, somehow I forgot about this. And what happens is you put your thumb on here and you pull. Because what happens is I was literally just pushing this, and then the door pop out, and then pulling on it from there. So I do this, and then I kind of like pull on the door. So you pull this out and pull.
Like right now, just charged up a little bit. We had 85%, and it costs $13.86 thus far.
We've gotten 33 kilowatts currently right now, so we're probably going to end up putting 38 on there. And like I said, it's a little high right now. It's currently at 42 cents per kilowatt. When it's 10 something in the morning, what's the time here? It's 10:20 a.m. We're in Baltimore currently. Man, if I can tell you location right here. When I was in Pennsylvania yesterday in York, it was 38 cents, and that was in the middle of the day. But I've been as cheap as 32 cents, and that was in Baltimore, and that was at night, like around 11 o'clock. So it does fluctuate. It gives you charging tips on the vehicle, and I'm just reading them, and it says it helps you find the fastest charging station. And it says to navigate, it navigates you to it, but it says arrive at 20% battery or less to maximize your charge rate. Now here's the problem, and me and Rich have talked about this. I have anxiety about this right now. Maybe if you get comfortable with it, you know, like I said, we only had it for a week, and I'm so used to driving my personal cars. You know, I drive a hybrid daily driver, and I'm used to not letting my tank really get less than 50% on a regular basis. If I'm traveling, it may get down a little low, but I fill it right back up. I'm uncomfortable because my thing is I don't want to get anywhere where it's an accident. I'm stuck for like 4 hours, which actually happened to me before. And I don't want to be so low. I don't know what happens if you get so low. And maybe, I don't know if anybody else has this kind of anxiety. Maybe if you're used to it, it doesn't happen. But I have this anxiety myself. I don't know how Rich feels about it.
I definitely have anxiety about it.
I keep charging up at it. The lowest I've gotten to is I did get to 29%. Yesterday I got to 29%. That's because I was traveling and I tried to make it, but I didn't feel comfortable at all. Like if I could have stopped, if I had a closer charging station, I would have done that. But basically this week, when I get to about 45%, I'm charging up just to feel comfortable.
Yeah, same here. For me, I'm the type of guy that usually when I get to half a tank of gas, I'm filling up, because even though there's gas stations everywhere, you never know where you're going to be and, you know, if you're going to be able to stop or not. So 20% in this would definitely give me major anxiety. I wouldn't be able to do that at all. I would probably be the one to charge it when it gets down to 40%, 50%. Because I just, like you said, that whole thing of, you know, what if there's not a station nearby? Because it's not like gas, y'all. If you get caught out there, you stuck. You caught out there.
Well, with the gas, worst come to worst, you can have someone bring you a gallon, or you can go walk and get a gallon. With this, I believe you just have to tow your vehicle to a charging station.
Yeah.
And that could, granted, that could incur some costs.
Yeah. Raw.
Now, what's crazy about it and that I really like, and I guess some people have to get used to this, because my lady said she'd have to get used to this. It's a lot going on. But it's like, not only is it just navigating with the navigation system on the screen, you're seeing everything on the screen. I almost, as a matter of fact, I ain't gonna say I thought of it. Rich actually said to me, you probably could just drive the car looking at the screen. Because when you look at the screen, it's telling you everything. You see cars coming, you see cars moving. He puts on the blinker. It shows you the turn area, your blind spot. And then it comes off, but you can see the cars. It actually shows you the light. I don't know if you notice the lights right there. Like, it shows you everything, because it's actually ready for,
and it's so accurate.
It's very accurate, because it's ready for full service driving. For it to drive on its own. Now, it doesn't have that in this particular rental that we're in, but it actually works well. All right, so we're merging on to 95, as you can see there. But it shows you everything as you're, real time. It shows you yourself. And it also shows you here on the, you see we're merging in. We're getting back on the highway. We're getting out of Baltimore. It tells you the speed. All the information is here, because you don't have a regular dashboard. So all the information is popping up here. As you probably can tell, speed limit is 55 and we're currently going 67.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Be careful over here, because it does have a camera. I don't know if they're there today, but I know from personal. I don't know if they're there or not, but I've seen it flash on many people when I've come this way. I don't think they're there. In Maryland they have to man these stations.
Yeah.
So they're not there now.
But it's crazy how accurate it is. It even picks up the cones on the side.
Yes, picks up everything. What's crazy is when you're on a residential street, it picks up trash cans. I thought that was crazy.
It even picks up people.
Yeah, it picks up people. We'll see that shortly.
People. This guy right here was over the line. Look how accurate that is. That is amazing. Like, safety-wise, I don't believe there's a better vehicle. No. Safety-wise, look, it shows him putting his blinker on and everything.
Matter of fact, it shows if he puts on. Let's see if Rich puts on his brakes. You see the brakes hit the street right there. You actually see the brakes. So it shows you everything, and I think Rich may be right. You possibly could just follow the screen and drive, and it would show you everything. You could possibly drive off the screen, because you'll know your distance from the cars in front of you. You'll know the lanes, the lane you're in. I probably wouldn't do it because I'm used to what I'm used to, but it's very possible. See, he punches it really quickly there. See how quickly you picked up speed and how quickly the mileage went up. Pretty solid. Pretty solid.
This thing's a beast.
Got automatic windshield wiper blades, as you see. They're going on automatically as it rains. This is in the rain right now. The punchability is nice. So as you can see, I'm trying to show you both the road and at the same time show you the actual screen, and it's quite accurate. The screen is quite accurate as he moves around and he navigates through traffic at what we consider illegal speeds. This is pretty much self-incriminating evidence in the rain.
But it's just to show you how safe this car feels.
Right.
This is the rain. Of course, it's reckless, but don't try that at home, kids.
No.
But because the car is so weighted,
right,
it feels so safe, and it's like it's just smooth with the vehicle handles. It's crazy.
And it really does feel. It does. It feels well weight distributed. As a matter of fact, Rich made a great point about feeling almost like what a sports car does. How they lower their. As a matter of fact, let you tell it.
Yeah. So basically, when you get into these Lamborghinis and Ferraris and stuff like that, they lower the car as close as they possibly can to the ground without, you know, messing up anything, so it can stick to the road better. So in the aftermarket world, what we do is we do the same thing. We get the lowering springs and control arms to get the car a little bit closer. And the reason why you do that is to kind of control the amount of body roll as far as the weight in the vehicle when you're going around corners and turns. And this vehicle is actually, it's already set up for that, because I guess with the batteries, the weight of the batteries, it has that upgraded suspension, so it actually feels like a modern day sports car. It's crazy.
And think about it, this is just the Model 3 long range. So this is our first Tesla review, and I'm very impressed, man. I mean, just the handling in the rain. I've noticed a theme on other videos I saw, which was they felt safe. And I kept thinking, what the heck does that mean, feel safe? Why don't you feel safe in a car? And that's an accurate description. Now that we know I've spent a week with this vehicle, I felt safe. Even, like, we're in the rain. Like I said, he just hit 100. I hit 100. You know, I felt safe the whole entire time. I never felt like, whew, that was a little bit, we're lucky right there. I felt in control the whole time. The car, the weight distribution of the vehicle, the handling of the vehicle, just feels well.
I drive a Kia Sorento for my daily driver, and every day I hit 80, when I park, I'm like, that was a little risky. That was a little risky. But I didn't feel that way in this vehicle at all. It felt like, it really felt like it was cool. Like you were going, you were fine. And even when we had the activated the self-driving, right?
Right.
It felt
Matter of fact,
safe.
click it on for a second so they can see what it looks like.
All right, so
about to activate the self-drive. You see cones. You just saw cones on the side there on the screen. It actually picks everything up in the vehicle, but he's going to activate the self-driving, not the driver assist, the autopilot. Go ahead and do it. Double down on it. Click down on it. And down twice. Click down twice. There you go.
There it is.
And there it is. So you got to supposed to keep your hands on the wheels, but what it does is right now you see his hands still on the wheel a little bit, and it's going to navigate. It's going to keep the speed. The max speed is going to go at 70 as it shows there, even in the 55. You set the max speed up prior to engaging this. It's supposed to do that before as I believe before you even take off. You set that up before you engage in it, and then with the max speed will be above, and I think it's 15 miles, and it just navigates for you. So he doesn't have to do a thing.
Right, and you guys can't feel it because obviously you're not in the car. But I'm driving close to this wall here for a reason. And the reason why I'm doing that is because even though you're supposed to keep your hand on the steering wheel, I have my thumb. So I'm not really doing anything. This is more or less for a safety feature because that's what they want. But you can feel that as the car is going, as it's kind of going over towards the wall a little bit, it's actually moving to the right. So I don't know if you can see it exactly on the screen, but I definitely can feel it that as it's drifting, because the road is kind of a little uneven, as it's drifting to the left like it is now, it automatically pulls back to the right. So it keeps you in a safe distance.
Pretty much in the middle of your lane.
In the middle of your lane. It's almost like perfect driving.
Now, just to throw this out there, I literally took my hands off the wheel. Matter of fact, take your hands off the wheel. I want to see what happens. Because it told me, I mean, of course you stay ready because we are near a wall. Yeah. But if it would tell me on the screen. Let me see if we get that, if we can duplicate that, because it told me that I needed to grab the wheel at a certain point. And matter of fact, it cut it off on me because I was literally doing something in the car, and it's like right now it's not saying anything. And it's been a good few seconds. I want to see how long it goes. That's a good question. Let's see how long it goes. How long will it go before it tells you to do something? His hands, you see, are not on the wheel. We're driving 70 miles an hour, and it's just driving. It's not saying anything.
No brake, no pedal.
Oh, there you go. What did it say? Apply force to the steering wheel. Yep.
There you go. Touch it.
So, and I think if you keep doing that, if you don't apply any force to the steering wheel.
Like right now, we're in a turn, Rawsko.
Yeah.
We're in a turn right now. We're literally in a turn.
Now, a lot of cars are starting to get this feature, as far as just keep, and it doesn't look as pretty as this on the screen.
Right.
You know, but it's driving. We're near a wall. It's driving the car. It's keeping us in. It's controlling the lane. As I think most cars is called lane assist. And its autopilot is working well.
And see, it just did it again because there's a slight like road in the road.
Bend in the road, right.
So it kind of went down, so it went to the left naturally because of the bend, and then it just kind of took it to the right a little bit to make sure that you're even. Still.
It's maintaining the speed at 70 constantly because that's the max that we had to set up for.
Cruising.
Yeah. It's cruising very well. And I'm surprised because maybe because there was so many bends in the road and the road I was on, but it came on a lot more for me, and he's just been cruising with his hands off the wheel, and it's only said once.
So there's another bend in the road. So I felt a slight turn to the left. Now we're about to hit another turn here, and this is actually
a pretty significant bend.
Yeah, so let's see. I'm going to put my hand here just in case, but let's see. She's going with the turn. She's going with the turn. Oh, look at this. That is amazing. That is amazing. It is amazing. Now we're coming up on another turn here. This one's a little tricky. Whoa, that is crazy.
It says apply pressure, did it with steering wheel again. So there you go. He has to put a little pressure to the steering wheel.
But that's crazy. Like we're in full turn. As you see on the screen, full turn.
It's working perfectly fine. And I guess now this is something you have to get used to, of course, because I know most people are used to having to be in full control, and because it doesn't let you like relax because it'll nudge you to stay on the touch the wheel and put some pressure. Now I'm used to this. I use this in my personal vehicle, my daily driver, all the time.
Got another full turn.
This is a big turn here.
So let's see what happens. And you see the steering wheel turning.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at this full turn, y'all. Look at this full turn, y'all. Look at that full. That's crazy. That is so crazy.
And his hands are not on the wheel. Now it's saying apply pressure again.
Right there. And that's just to make sure that you're not asleep, I guess. And there we go.
Now we're turning again. We're turning the opposite way. We're turning the opposite way. And like I said, it works like a charm.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Any butterflies in your stomach?
There was a few. There was a few on that big turn. It was because I was like, I don't know if I want to do that today. I don't know if I want to die today. But
see, I'm used to it myself. In my daily drive, which is actually a Honda hybrid, I use it all the time. I drive out of town with it, and I keep lane assist on, and it keeps the distance between you and the car you're driving in front of you, and it kind of does the same thing. It's not as pretty on the screen as this, but it actually does it. Now, matter of fact, don't apply any pressure. I want to see what happens. Don't apply any pressure. Keep your hands closed. I want to see what it says if you don't apply. Oh, it's telling you got to apply pressure. Now he's not doing it. I want to see what happens here. We're doing a test here. We're seeing what happens if he doesn't apply pressure. It's telling him to apply pressure. He's not doing it.
Oh, cuts it off.
It cut it off. That's what happened to me before. So it says unavailable for the rest of the drive. You got to take over.
So that means whole steering wheel driving.
Yeah, it says off altogether. So now for the rest of this drive, he can't even try to put it back on. Like, it won't work.
And probably, I'm thinking the reason for that.
Oh, it's unavailable for the rest of this drive.
Right. And it's probably doing that because it probably feels like you fell asleep.
Right. You're not attentive.
And you're not attentive. So at this point,
they want to make sure you're attentive.
Right.
And it makes sense because if you think about it, most states don't allow autonomous driving at all yet. So if you're not allowed to have autonomous driving, they want to make sure you're not autonomously driving. And that covers them for if any accidents or anything happens. That's going to protect Tesla because they have these features in. Right. And this is it's in my vehicle as well. Lane assist. They won't let you fully not be engaged.
Now I will say this: I don't know exactly what happened at the last moment, but even with it getting to the point where it says it's unavailable now, the car still maintained control of itself until I grabbed the steering wheel and turned the steering wheel. Then I totally took over.
So that was a good question. If you never did anything, and say you really fell asleep, what would happen? We'd have to probably cut the car off and all that to go through that. But
right.
I guess we'll just have to Google that one, y'all, because I don't want to shut down on the middle of the highway on us. I don't think that would happen because that'd be unsafe.
And then that's a lawsuit.
Right.
So, but I mean, honestly, I'm gonna go to the whole point of, honestly, this is probably one of the safest.
It feels safe. It truly feels safe.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like I really do feel like this car is one of the safest cars ever.
Yeah, it feels extremely safe.
Oh, you didn't talk about the one pedal.
Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the one pedal. I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit. I ain't even trying to be in the man's space, but he's on one pedal. So if he lets go of that pedal, it actually starts braking. And all right, now we're stopping. Is somebody behind us? Nobody behind us? We actually come to a stop. Look, we literally came to a stop because he let go of the pedal. We're at 0 or 1, and now he's gonna start hitting the pedal again. You don't need to actually use two pedals. The only, and you probably heard this if you've done any research in Teslas at all, the only time you need to use these brake, honestly, is like for an emergency stop. Like something quick. You know, the light just switched on you real quick. You need to, you know, that kind of thing. For the most part, one pedal. And it's at, look, here you go. You can punch it once again. You can always get over and punch it because you pick up speed very, very quick in this. And I believe this one goes to 0 to 60 in 4.3, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. But that's not even the only one that's slower than this one is the Model Y. All the other vehicles, the S, the X, are much faster.
That's insane.
And that is insane. But one pedal driving, it's actually, I don't know if you're feeling used to it already. In the case of a week, I'm so used to it that when I went to work and I drove my work car, I almost forgot to hit the pedal. I feel like, oh, I'm still moving. I had to slow the brake. I was so used to it. Like I got used to this after a week's time. So I know people that drive this all the time. When they drive a different vehicle, they probably have to catch themselves.
Disclosure. Know what vehicle you're in.
Exactly.
Oh man.
All right. The thing I noticed about this Tesla is when you're by yourself in the vehicle, it automatically comes on for the temperature on one side. As soon as someone sits in the passenger seat, it actually has two temperature gauges. So I could actually change my temperature from the person I'm riding with. So mine's at 67, his is 68. So it automatically gives you temperature control when you're getting the car. And you can see it pulls up. You can adjust the, oh, hold up, I messed up. You can adjust the actual, which way, see how just how it blows? Because you don't have a fan to adjust, a manual, so you do it all audio to adjust your climate control.
That's crazy.
And you can adjust your seats, as you can see on the side there for your individual seat. You can do it for everybody as one. You can, the steering wheel, heat it up. Okay, so what I want to show you is another great safety feature of this vehicle. Rich is also about to pull to a back-end parking spot. I want you to see the screen for back-end parking, which is, I think, it's insanely amazing. Okay, you tell someone it's getting close to a vehicle. But, all right, so watch when he puts this car in reverse. So, not only does it give you here, it gives you each side of the vehicle, plus one big picture there of the spot. If you're still a terrible parker in this situation, I want you to zoom in, right? Look how well this helps you guide in.
See the people.
And you guys see the people walking. It's crazy, right? It shows the people walking past. He's taking his time in parking. I'm an insanely fast parker. I take pride. I work in the inner city, so I park anywhere immediately and fast. But he's showing you how well. If you can't park this car safely and well, I mean, look how close the lines are there. You can see here the lines, and this doesn't have great lines in this parking lot we're in either.
But you can still tell, for the most part, we're still in the middle.
Oh yeah, definitely, because the lines actually help here. And the reason I'm showing you that is because if you see the yellow lines here, not very well. They're faded. This is a kind of an old parking lot that we're in, and you can see each side. That person behind us has their door open. They're like, you can see their foot hanging out there, and they're like getting something. You can see the other side of the vehicle we're on, and this here also is just great because it shows you the lines, even though the lines are faded, and make sure you're parking straight. So if you can't park this good, you'll never park good back in here.
So another thing that I love about this whole Tesla that I think that they absolutely got right is the steering, the turning radius, and also just the way it responds when you're turning. And I'm about to demonstrate that right now while we're in this parking lot. Okay. Like the car actually responds to the turn. And when I say that, I'm saying it like
it's very responsive.
Very responsive. Like, here we go around this car.
You're turning around the vehicle. You can see us turning around the vehicle right here on the screen. And the screen actually shows you the vehicle as we're turning around it. People probably think you're high right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking around pretty early in the morning at a pretty dead mall.
But it just shows you, like, this is so accurate. It responds. It responds like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. It's great, the handling of this vehicle, and just the way this stuff just pops up on the screen to help you. Like, we're not even parking, but it still posts the line up just in case you are parking, like to help you get that right.
So I want to do the parking thing again just to show you guys the lines are a little bit better over here.
Right, the lines are exactly.
So let's go near a car. Let's go near a car. Go here. Let's see.
All right. So he's going to reverse, puts it in reverse. All the cameras, like I told you before, pop up. And this picks up the lines on the ground. So it has, you see the physical camera and you see the animated, it pulls I guess it would be the 3D rendering of it. You got a camera on each side, like I told you before, right and the left of the vehicle, passenger and driver side. You got the one in the middle, and then you have this, which I think is just great, the rendering. You can see the other vehicles on the rendering. You can see them in your car.
Coming in the back right there.
Yep. You see the person getting in the vehicle on their thing there, on their car. You can see the person. They've nailed the parking for this vehicle. And I know a lot of vehicles are made very much made strides with improvements to parking, but they have nailed it with the cameras on this vehicle. I think it takes anybody who can't even park well. We've all seen those people, and I think they'll turn them into an excellent parker. They'll have no problem backing in. Okay, so we showed you what happened when you didn't put your hands on the steering wheel when it was doing auto steer. So this is the note that you get when it's all done. Will no longer operate if autopilot disables 3 additional times. Wow. I think when I did it was 4 times. So it's letting you know it's in the beta and that you have to be, they won't let you do it. And they're protecting you and I guess them as well.
Mm-hmm.
So your boy Rawsko Squeezoff here with Rich Blackman, and it's just like a summation of what we were talking about. The Model 3 long range 2023 Tesla, and just impressed with it, man. I'm still driving it right now. It's really, the only way to say it, it's impressive, man. I thought because this would be like one of the cheaper ones, it wouldn't be as nice as it is. It's not like great luxury wise or material wise, anything of that nature, but the handling as well. I do hear the air when I'm riding. Like, it's nothing leaking in here at all. So I don't know, you know, there's no water because it's raining right now. It's raining pretty intensely, and I don't feel any rain getting in here, any wetness. But it does have like an air, like you hear outside when you drive. So I don't know what causes that. But I do hear that's a problem that's solved in 2024 with the new redesign of it. I've seen many videos where everybody said that problem solved. And as a person who doesn't have a charging station at their home right now, I do live in the city, and it's going to be, believe it or not, I live in a very new community, built in 2015, fairly new, but they don't have any charging stations, and it's a condo, so don't really have any charging access or any way to really charge it there. I do see one person in the community that uses a they're always there, so they don't really drive very much. But they do have a solar panel type thing that I've actually looked into that. You get like a little DC generator or something to that effect, and you hook it to the solar, and they put it like on top of their vehicle, and they let the sun just hit it, and it doesn't charge very fast. But I guess if you only drive less than 20 miles per day, it may even benefit you. I don't know if they drive that much, because I don't care when me or my lady go there. It's just always they're there. So they don't. And I guess on a day like today, with actually a week, this whole week is going to be pretty intense with rain and overcast. So I don't know how that works. I guess they'd have to, maybe they run a cord. I don't know if they can run a cord from where they're at. But if you don't have any way to charge, is what I'm kind of saying. You do have to go to a supercharging station, which could add up in cost if you're driving a lot. Now, like I said, when I was doing local driving all this week, I went twice, and I didn't really have to go. My anxiety of not knowing and not having a Tesla on a regular basis made me want to, when I got around 50 state of charge left, to fill it back up to at least 80, because I'm so used to like filling my gas cars back up when I get around 50%, halfway. Obviously the charging tips tell you should wait till about 20% to get the best rate if you're charging, if you're not charging at home. So I guess that's something I could do going forward, like as I get used to these things. But all I can say is I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the one pedal driving. I've gotten used to it now. In the course of a week, I actually enjoy it. That little ding you heard when the light turns green, it lets you know to go ahead and go if the car pulls off in front of you. And a lot of vehicles make little sounds or tells you something to go when the car pulls off. I guess that may be a setting you could take off. I'd probably take it off if I could. I didn't really look into things of that nature because it's not mine. It's just a rental. It's pretty smooth. I mean, you do feel everything. It's not like a luxury vehicle. I think next we might do a Model S or Model X. Me and Rich were talking about doing, to see what the luxury ones feel like. And then I do know I will be getting. I've been doing hybrids for years. I had the Prius, and I've had Honda Accord Touring hybrids, and I love those as well. That's my daily driver now. But I think this is a step above as far as not needing gas at all. I think I still prefer, as of right now, from the travels, my long-term travels, I think I would prefer the hybrid for long travels, because I don't need to get gas that often, and when I do, it's a 5-minute stop, bathroom, snack, food, and then I'm on the road again for a long period of time, and I get great gas mileage. When I set the lane assistant auto driving up in the Honda, I actually get probably like almost 40 miles per gallon, 40 miles to the gallon, or in that area. And I do have the bigger wheels, the 19-inch wheels on it, so it's not as good as the one with 17. But as far as gas mileage goes, and I don't have to stop as often. And yesterday I did feel like I stopped twice, and I spent 25 minutes each time getting the car back. One time from 33, I think, state of charge to 80, and then another time from 29 or 28 to 80. And I averaged about 25 to 30 minutes. So I wasn't a big fan of that aspect of things, having to spend 50 minutes to an hour just to get charged up. So traveling wise, I'm still more of a fan of the normal hybrid driving. But if everything else, matter of fact, let me now. So once again, parks. I'm actually stopping at a Walmart real quick. The family, they always need something at the store. Didn't feel like doing delivery right now, but put it in park. Hold on, push the button for park. There you go. And then you have your vehicle right there. So it's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Hey y'all, this your boy Rich Blackman coming to you to give you my thoughts on the Tesla Model 3. So as you all know, Rawsko and I did a review on the Tesla Model 3. Just to kind of give a review of the everyday person. Like, how does it fit into your life? If this is something that you wanted to do, if you've been looking at maybe trying to get a Tesla and, you know, everything like that. It was definitely an experience. So I'm going to cut it down to two things, the pros and the cons for me. Now this is just me, the pros and the cons for me. So one of the questions, really it was a lot of questions for me, but one of the main questions for me was, if you do not have a charging station at the house, should you get a Tesla? If you're not able to have a charging station at your house, should you get a Tesla? I don't know. It's totally dependent on a couple things, and I'm going to go over that with you. So say, for instance, you have a charging station at the house. You come home from work. Now, you need to charge it maybe 2 or 3 times a week, depending on how far you drive and your driving habits. You get home from work. You plug it up. Go in the house, take your shower, eat your food, eat your dinner. Bam, you go to bed. Wake up the next day, your car's charged. No worries. It's almost like a cell phone. And you just go on about your day. No time lost. You're good to go. But what if you don't have a charging station at the house? That's where the problem comes in. For me, anyway. So then that means you have to find the nearest charging station. Take about 30 minutes out of your day, because it takes about 30 minutes to charge up to about 90%. About 90% because they don't recommend that you charge it up to 100%. So you got to take about 30 minutes out of your day to charge your car up and go on from there. I don't know about anybody else, but my day is packed usually. So that 30 minutes hurts of just sitting and being non-productive. But I will say this. I do like all of the things that they put into the entertainment system to keep you busy while you're charging it. Good job, Tesla. But for your boy, not enough. So that's one of the cons for me, is just charging. Another con for me was range. I think on average maybe about 300 miles to a charge, depending on your driving. I feel like if they don't have it already, we should be very close to getting the technology to be able to have these things set up like Priuses or something like that, to where you can get 600 and 700 miles to a charge. That's where I would like to see it. To be completely honest with you, to really, I feel like, make a difference to win people like myself completely over. Because see, I travel a lot, right? I travel a lot, and I pride myself on 5-minute gas station stops. Period. You get in, you get out, you hit the road. That's just what it is. If you take a 6-hour trip, 400 miles, 500 miles, say 500 miles. That means you're going to drive, and then you're going to have to find a charging station that may or may not be on your route to charge the vehicle for 30 minutes. That to me seems like a pain in the ass. So Tesla, I need you to fix that. I need you to put more range out there, because I think that the only thing for making this car super great, or making Tesla super great, period, is range. That's it. I don't feel comfortable enough, as much as I'm on the road, to say, you know what, I will take the Tesla on a 800-mile drive. Not gonna do it. Because I feel like that's me stopping 3 times. And I don't want to have to charge. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So that's one of the cons. That's another con for me. We need more range. We need more range. Let's see. Another con for me. Honestly, I know it sounds a little different, but I have a lot of anxiety about a couple things. Other than the charging, which it does to me give me anxiety. What if I don't charge in time? But another thing is that roof. It's all glass. So what if you're behind a truck and the truck kicks a rock up and bam, put a chip in that glass, shatter the window. Excuse me, guys, kind of late, but shatter the window. That seems like that would be a pretty costly expense. And it's something you have to do because, I mean, just think about it. Are you going to let it rain in your Tesla? No. So you got to get it fixed. But of course, they have the Tesla insurance, and I'm sure that they'll cover that. But again, here it is. Now you're going to have insurance on top of insurance. So that to me is another con. But pretty much those are the only cons that I have with the vehicle. Would be charging, frequency of charging, range, as far as mileage, and that glass roof. Like, maybe you should have some kind of other material.
Until next time. Thank you for watching Show on the Go.